Hi guys. So it's been a while since I've made another Yap video. Sorry, I was like doing this Instagram challenge and then I had family over for a little bit, so schedule wise was kind of like yada yada, then had to make sure getting back in school was in order, then usual job stuff, job searching. But anyways, I just had this topic that I've been trying to this is based on like How to Train Your Dragon cuz like it's my favorite movie, so but there's this subject that I've been like putting together different pieces of information, and I'm just kind of like curious about this. So, if anybody has any answers to these questions I have, I would love to hear them. Again, I'm not trying to like do like a final conclusion or whatever, but it's just for the second movie of How to Train Your Dragon, why is Hiccup so content and set on trying to talk to Drago about not doing war anymore? Like, he was told like multiple times before they met that he was not negotiable and that he was a madman and that he couldn't be reasoned with. But then he still tries to talk to him anyways, and then that inevitably causes his dad to die indirectly. So, the first movie, Hiccup learns that everything about dragons is wrong. They are sophisticated, intelligent, uh, I guess the main point of the movie was like they're equal, I guess, to like us. Like in the scene confrontation before Stoic leaves to find the nest, and Stoic is like, "They've killed hundreds of us," and the Hiccup's like, "We've killed thousands of them." So it's like he obviously cares about the dragons now, and but I guess there was like no questions asked when it came to just killing the um, Red Death. Um, it just seems kind of like an inconsistency in themes or lessons to me. But again, if anybody has any reasons, because based on what I remember, this just seems kind of like a bit of an inconsistency. Because it's like Drago is like this guy that like threatens his whole village, right? But the Red Death wasn't doing anything; it was just stealing food. So okay, like yeah, it's a big dragon, and then when it storms out, I don't even think that it kills anybody unless it kills anybody off screen. But again, it's a kids movie, so I don't know. Like as far as I can tell, the Red Death didn't even kill anybody. It came out of the mountain and started attacking them because they started catapulting stuff at it in the first place. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? Um, but like again, there's like no questions asked. Like then Hiccup doesn't even like try to like um do something in a different way with the Red Death because it wasn't even like I know it was stealing food, but I mean like I'm pretty sure they were getting food from like everywhere, but like maybe like a relocation or whatever, or maybe you could just like move it to one of those evil places with all the bad Vikings or whatever. Like I'm a fan of How to Train Your Dragon, but I haven't watched the show. It's hard to watch a show. I haven't been watching TV, but I still do love the first movie, and I'm kind of a hardcore. Well, not like fundamentalist, but like I'm like a How to Train Your Dragon purist. Like second movie, they just kept getting worse as it went down. And when I say worse, as in like less good, except How to Train Your Dragon 3 was kind of it was bad. Like in my other videos, like what is this? Like there's nothing that makes sense in here, and the main point is that for some reason the director tried to have it end in the same way as the books when it didn't start in the same way as the books, so that made it not work. That's basically a summary of a very big summary of why How to Train Dragon I don't think is that good. And then How to Train Dragon 2 did get pretty dark, and I think that it's almost as good as the first one. I like if you talk to me, I'm always gonna think the original is better. But you could try to argue with like Kung Fu Panda because the first one and second one are like really good, and then the third one is less good, and then no, um, yeah. So it's just kind of strange that like the first movie of How to Train a Dragon is he just kills a dragon like no questions asked. Um, Even though the movie was about how dragons were misunderstood and were easily switchable to be like a dog or cat or whatever, because the rest of the dragons were trained just like that. Um, Instead of Toothless, who's depicted as kind of like a mix between dog and cat in behavior, but then all the other ones are trained even faster. So I guess maybe they're more dog-like. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I mean, talking about Drago, and then it's like this is when Mercy comes back to bite the Givers with the cause of Stoic's death because they didn't just kill this obviously evil person who was not going to change their ways. And if they want to say the same thing about the Red Death, then that's more of a reason to kill Drago. Draco, was it? No, it's Drago, Blood Fist. I'll bloody his fist because I take my dragon. Anyways, it's just I don't know. It seems inconsistent based on what I know. Again, if anybody has anything, just remind me because I don't know. Um, yeah, and I still haven't watched Shafrilas or however you say it, his name on How to Train Your Dragon 2, but I still have a hard disagree with him on that one. I'm pretty sure the third one is the weakest one because that one fundamentally doesn't make any sense. So, similar thing with Kung Fu Panda, it just like gradually gets a bit less. Well, Kung Fu Panda is like the two, in my opinion, are like equal, but then the third one is like a little bit less because it's like there's not as many deeper themes, but Kai's pretty sick, so and some credit there. And I'd also tried, and it didn't have him not be the Dragon Warrior for no reason. Anyways, but then with in my opinion, the How to Train a Dragon is first one's really good, the second one is a bit under two, and then the third one is a bit of a drop. So that's more of a dramatic change. But the big drop happens with the Kung Fu Panda franchise, except with the fourth one. Um, Again, I don't know. This thing is inconsistent. Like with what Hiccup does, I guess you could say, oh well, I don't know. Um, Maybe it's because, well, no. Like the Red Death wasn't more of a threat because Drago also had the King of Dragons, or one of the Bewildered Beasts, which was also threatening everything, and then they still didn't kill him. I don't get it. The Red Death wasn't even going after the village. It was just going after the people that attacked it. What the heck is this? Killed the Red Death, but not the Bewildered Beast or Draco. Draco. Drago. Jeez. Like I don't know what's the reason behind not doing it there, because that's kind of dumb. Like he had warnings. He's older. He's wiser. He had warnings, and then still doesn't do it. They say, what did they say? There's no bad dragons, only bad. Okay. Well, I guess it didn't matter with Red Death. Um. Yeah. Strange. I don't know. Again, I still love the first movie, but I'm just kind of realizing because I'm trying to actually have some good reviews of movies. I'm trying to like think because for some reason I always whenever I see something for the first time, I for some reason always just blindly consume it for the first time, and I'm just like, but then I see a review and I'm like, oh hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, that's a good point. And then for some reason I'm never able to like see stuff for the first time because I guess I'm just unobservant first time. It takes time for me because I'm slow, so it just takes me more time than others. But yeah, realizing this more what 10 years after it came out. Wait, so was it 2008 that it came out or 2007? Yeah, but it's just weird. Like, why do this for one? And even though I would probably argue that Drago is worse because he killed the other king dragon, Bewilderbeasts, and then he threatens the village by trying to take it over, and then is still not killed like the other dragon. Even though the first one is about seeing dragons as equals, because um, Hiccup and Toothless are seen as equals, as friends, in the first one, and that's what the point was. Um, like, yeah, he trains them and stuff, but it's not like just a pet because they're friends and they spend a lot of time together. Because Toothless is a very intelligent dragon, so it's like the typical cartoonized version of mammals, dog, whatever. But um, yeah, I did I have other points? Like um Drago's Bewilderbeasts makes Toothless kill his father, but then is still not like killed. Except for the Red Death, which it stole some food and then was attacking the things that attacked it. Because it got catapulted and then it didn't really kill anybody on screen that I know of, and then crushed a catapult machine, and then it did light ships on fire. But even then, like maybe it did kill somebody, but I'm not sure because it doesn't show, and I don't know if it says that it killed anybody anywhere. But still, like it's obvious to say that Drago has and would have kept doing it, killing people before, but is not killed. So it's just weird. I don't know. It seems like a justice inconsistency. Yeah, I don't know. This is what too much kindness can get to you. This is why you're not supposed to let people walk all over you. Not supposed to be thanking people for my fucking funeral. Paying people for my funeral. This is like being too kind to where it's a detriment to you is never the way to go, and then always it never helps and it makes stuff worse because it just makes everybody else thinks that they can just keep doing it. So the do no damage, take no shit type of thing, like it's about being a good man. And what a good man does is somebody who fights evil, which is what Drago obviously was. Or is. Because I think he might still be alive. Yeah. Learning process. Yeah. What am I missing? I should have written some of my points down, but there was other details that I like in the movie, and it's like, yeah, I wasn't doing anything. Like, what if they just relocated the queen? Red Death. Because obviously the Bewilderbase was just able to fuck off. So, oh, I guess you could say like the alpha thing or whatever. About like, Toothless proved himself as an alpha in that alpha form, or what was it called? And then that's when the Bewilderbeast leaves, but the Red Death wasn't the king of dragons, though, so it wasn't like the top. But I guess you could have seen the Red Death as a tyrannical type of dragon ruler. But then again, it's still just the same argument of just like, okay, well then why didn't you kill Drago? And it's the same thing with like the Draco's rule to beast was like it's the same thing because it had a giant army of dragons that probably didn't want to be there either, and had a tyrannical type of rule, being subjugated to do Draco's will. The army is like whatever he wants. Because yeah, um, like if you take a shot every time I say in my videos, you're gonna die of alcohol poisoning. But that's my thought process because I'm just putting my raw dialogue, as in talking, out here. I don't have a script because I'm not really a big YouTuber. But you know, things could change. I've been trying, but yeah, it's inconsistent, so it's weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know how many people watch my videos, but I would love to see, like, if anybody has any recommendations on what types of videos I could try. I've done all I could say, I feel like, with those animal fight tier list videos, or I can do more drawings or speed draws and then yaps about those. Again, I just love to put my thoughts out there, and you might you're gonna notice me noticing because everybody else is noticing, and I'm sure we're all on a list already. I'm gonna be like that grandpa that's like yapping about some deep topic casually because older people just don't give a fuck anymore, and I kind of respect them for that when it comes to having judgments against this tyrannical government that we have. But you know, my video might get flagged after my last piece of dialogue, which doesn't help their case. So I think that's about it that I gotta say. But yeah, I still love How to Train Your Dragon. Favorite movie, awesome scenes, the music. Yeah, still just a bit of an inconsistency here. So again, last thing we're gonna say. If I'm missing anything, I'd love to hear. But like based on things that I've heard, it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like it was the same. Yeah. All right. Love y'all. Thank you for subscribing. 24. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day. The charger way. Okay.